Assignment 6 is by far the most difficult assignment yet, and I'm not saying that to scare you guys. It's just a warning so that you don't end up doing it last minute. I know that assignment 5 was easy enough for some of you to finish it the day it was due, but for this assignment, that may not be the case, so I'd recommend to start this early. Understanding this assignment can be a bit difficult, so I'd recommend to read the instructions very closely. Some things that I'd like to point out is that there are two typos in the handout, one of them being the enter a file name line. We've seen this typo before. It's, just if here there needs to be a space, as you can see here, enter a file name space. And the second typo is the error message line. You see here that it's in a new line, but over here we can see that it's in the same line as enter a file name. That's pretty much all the typos that there is, and so nothing really serious. So what I'm going to do is explain how this game works, or how this program works, and I'm going to be using the first two lines of this file, so it's easier to understand. Okay, so here we have our current state, here we have our next state, and then this is just, some reminders of how this code works. So let's get started with this 0 and check for its neighbors. So we have one neighbor, two neighbors, three neighbors, and we can see that it only has one neighbor alive. So what's actually going to happen is that this 0 remains dead. Okay, so now this 0, it actually is going to have more neighbors than the corner right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this one actually has three neighbors alive, and for a 0 to be converted to a 1, it's going to, it's actually going to be enough, so it converts to a 1. Now let's check for the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has two neighbors alive, and since this cell was already alive in the first place, two neighbors alive is enough, so it's going to stay alive. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this one has two neighbors and two neighbors alive, which is 4, but we know that anything over 3 neighbors alive is actually going to die due to overpopulation. So this 0 is actually going to die. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, two neighbors. So it's going to remain alive. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's three neighbors. Going to convert. Now, here is where things can get a little bit confusing. Okay, so here we have our 0. And how many neighbors does it have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the thing about this is that the code won't recognize that this 1 or this 0 changed to a 1. In this cell's eyes, this cell is still a 0. So make sure you're careful with that in your code. So it's going to have 1, 2 neighbors alive. It's not going to have 3 because it doesn't recognize that this changed to a 1. So because we only have 2 neighbors alive, it's actually going to remain dead. Ooh. Okay, so next 1, 5, then still not enough to be dead. Then the final one, 1, 2, 3, only 2 neighbors, not enough, dead. So we finished the first row, and let's copy that. Let's paste that. Let's change this color real quick. And, oh, well, whatever. It actually matches the first next state in the file, or the first line. Well, not the file, just in the code, what it expects the output to be. So pretty much that's how this works. Be careful when doing your arrays. Make sure you know that this zero, or when it comes to like your code, doesn't recognize that it changed, because that's what I did. And I was like, why isn't it showing this? I didn't understand the game until I kind of broke it down. And in my opinion, it's just easier to draw this out, because it really helps. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck on your assignment.